And this morning, our spotlight on Paris, Kentucky continues with the story of a crown jewel of the town that has been around for decades. We're talking about the Bourbon Drive-In.
That's right. LEX 18's Claire Kopsky takes us to this Paris staple that took the pandemic and closures and reopenings all in stride and wound up even growing their business.
Since 1953.
Trish Earlywine and her husband grew up working at the Bourbon Drive-In and in family tradition style have owned the Paris icon for decades. Needless to say, they were not about to let the pandemic get in their way.
The way I like to say, the good Lord willing and the river don't rise. We are here. We are coming back.
They closed and reopened per state guidelines last year, keeping attendance at 50%. But with Kentuckians looking for COVID-safe activities, that 50% drew in a new crowd.
We've always, besides Bourbon County, we've always had our share of surrounding counties. But yes, I do. I think it brought people that had never been to a drive-in before. They'll say, and you can always spot them. They never know where anything's at. So, oh, there's a newbie. And they loved it. They said, we'll be back. We'll be back. They had never been to a drive-in before, you know. And when they came, they really enjoyed it.
In her decades at the drive-in, Earlywine says she's never seen movies pulled off the market so quickly, which caused the drive-in to do things differently last year. Instead, showing some classic favorites, including Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, Grease, and dozens more.
Looking back on it, with us, it was a lot of fun. I'm sorry that things had to happen the way they were, but we were able to play those old movies and we went back in time. We went back to a time when there was no pandemics. So it was good. It makes great popcorn.
She explained although it was a strange year, she didn't let that get in the way of enjoying the community that she and her husband built.
Yeah, I can remember the young couples dating. They get married, then they have their babies. The next thing you know, they're bringing their babies. And then after a while, they become teenagers. They don't want to be seen with their parents anymore. Then time goes by, and here they come again. They're married. It's a cycle. And that's what I've seen over the years. But it's an amazing little place.
A place she says proved a true getaway for so many last season.
One of the sweetest things I heard, and I've heard a lot, there was a lady out here, and she said, you know, I sat out there and I watched the movie in my chair from my car, and she said for those few hours, I never once thought about the economy or the pandemic or anything, and that's what it's all about. Sometimes we just need a breather.
A breather that they plan to provide again.
So the calendar is starting to fill up. So we're going to use a pencil, and we're going to be hopeful, and we'll see what happens.
Well, the Bourbon Drive-In is closed for this season for good reason. There is a wintry mix coming down here in Paris, but they are gearing up for their 65th season. They're set to open the first weekend in April. As you heard Trish say that she is using a pencil because of the pandemic. So head to their Facebook page. They'll be posting the movies that they'll be showing and, of course, that official opening day date. But for now, live in Bourbon County, Claire Kopsky, LEX 18 News.